It's official, like a referee with a whistle. So Karmelo Anthony is being charged for basically self-defense. I talked about this case a few months ago. Here's what they had to say.
A Collin County grand jury has now indicted Karmelo Anthony.
He is accused of killing another high school student at a track meet. The story has generated national interest, and our JD is live at the Collin County Courthouse, where he's been gathering reaction to this decision. JD.
Karen and Ken, Collin County District Attorney Greg Willis says his office has been presenting evidence for weeks to a grand jury panel here and asked that panel to return an indictment of first-degree murder on Karmelo Anthony, which they did today.
Now, we know this case has struck a deep nerve here in Collin County and beyond, and that's understandable. When something like this happens at a school event, it shakes people to the core. But let's remember that the justice system works best when it moves with steadiness and principle. That's what we're committed to, and that's what this case deserves.
Willis delivered that video statement after the indictment was handed down. A first-degree murder charge carries a 5 to 99 years or life in prison sentence if convicted. Karmelo Anthony is accused of fatally stabbing Austin Metcalf during a track meet inside a stadium where both of their Frisco ISD high school teams were participating. Anthony told police he acted in self-defense and was provoked by Metcalf during an altercation that preceded the stabbing. Anthony's attorney emphasized his plans to use that defense in a video statement released earlier today.
Self-defense is a fundamental right guaranteed every American. The law is clear. When self-defense is raised by the facts, the law puts the burden squarely on the prosecution to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that the citizen accused did not act in self-defense.
The father of Austin Metcalf issued a statement to us which says, "I am pleased that we are moving forward with the first-degree murder indictment. It now goes into the court system. I fully believe that justice will be served for Austin Metcalf. I look forward to the forthcoming trial, but it will never bring my son back." I'm told the next step in this legal process will be assigning a judge to the case, and that could happen tomorrow when we expect to get a copy of the indictment. That judge will then decide.
That's basically it. That's all it really had to say. Just listen to the language that's being used. Even a news reporter called Karmelo a killer. You call a teenager a killer. Listen to the language. You know, they don't call white kids killers. They don't do that. They call them a lone wolf or anything else under the sun. So we know how this shit go. You know, hopefully, what's Mike Howard?
Decide on when. I'm pleased that we are moving forward with a video statement.
Mike, what's the attorney name? Mike Howard. Hopefully, he's a good attorney. Because this is he's being charged with first-degree murder. So you know what that means. First-degree murder means this was planned in advance. So they're going to try to, the DA, you know, he made his little statement, you know, in the video. And P.S. by the way, the DA's job is to make money and put you in jail. That's the DA's job, in a nutshell. With all the using all the talking and all the fancy words and all, that's just bullshit. The DA's job is to put you in jail and make money. Period. It's all about commerce on your ass. You know. So first-degree murder, they have to prove that Karmelo wanted to kill him and the other guy, what's his name? The other kid in advance. So they have to prove that they're going to try to prove that Karmelo woke up, got dressed for school, and, you know, like he normally would, grabbed a knife, he's going to school, and I guess when I see this kid, I'm going to stab him to death. That first degree murder is you planned this in advance. You were looking for the person. That's what the DA is going to have to prove. And in a fair trial, I don't see how you would prove that. How do you prove? It's hard to prove that adults that have first degree murder. So how do you prove a kid? Now we always get overcharged. We know how this shit go. You know what I'm saying? We know how it go. And especially in Texas, which is the worst, probably one of the worst states to get in have any type of legal problems. Really. But this is going to trial. I didn't think it was going to go to trial, but I'm not surprised. This is Texas. This is still America. Texas they just take things to the next level. What they say about Texas? What happens they say everything is bigger in Texas, So whatever happens in one state is one thing, but when you go to Texas, it's 10 times bigger. And there's some truth within that statement, But, this with a fair trial, I don't see the DA proving that, But the court system is corrupt. We know what this is. Those of us that have been living long enough, we know how corrupt these the justice system is. The justice system is everything else, is everything but justice. There's no justice. It's very corrupt. I wouldn't be surprised if something happens within the courtroom that catches everybody off guard or people are surprised. I wouldn't even be surprised at all, But see, all of this could have been avoided if everybody would mind their own damn business and keep their hands to themselves. See, that's what my parents used to tell me when I was growing up. Keep your hands to yourself. And they also went on to tell me that if you put your hands on somebody, you shouldn't be surprised if you get hit back, right? And they also went on to tell me that if you put your hands on somebody, you really don't know how they're going to hit back. Because there's no rules for when somebody hits you back. There's no fair fight. You should have kept your hands to yourself. But you see, the thing is, in this society, you have too many double standards. You have hidden rules and unwritten rules where people think they can do what they want to do to you with no consequences and get away with it. That's the problem with living in the United States of America. It's too many damn double standards. Certain groups of people think they can do what they want to do. A lot of white people think that, that they can do anything to a black person and get away with it. And the black person is supposed to just take whatever the white person, does to them. That's the problem. And check this out. I learned this when I was a teenager because unfortunately I had to go to summer school one year because this English teacher named Miss Stone, and everybody that follows me that's from back home where I'm from, everybody remember Miss Stone. Miss Stone failed the whole damn class. Miss Stone was teaching college English, and we're in the 9th grade at the time. So this is why I had to go to summer school. Miss Stone failed the whole goddamn class. So what happened at my school, at my high school, was 97% white. my whole time in high school, it's only 5 white people, and everyone else is black, right? But summer school, I had to go to Georgetown High. Now, Georgetown High is, for the most part, the majority of white kids, right? And I realized when I went to summer school at Georgetown High that the white people get to do whatever they want. They're allowed to do whatever. They're throwing paper in the class. They're walking out the class. They're getting loud in the class. But meanwhile, the black students can't even raise their hand for a question. If they go to the restroom too long, they get written up. So the black kids are being supervised, and picked on, while the white kids are able to do whatever they wanted to do. So I saw this type of favoritism early in the 9th grade, right? And so I've seen this type of stuff. I've gotten in scuffles with white guys growing up, or just kids in general growing up. And it's always going to be the same type of dynamic that play out. I get picked on, I punch the kid in the mouth, I'll beat him up, then I end up getting suspended. But the other kid didn't get suspended. So this type of stuff happens. This happened to me during summer school. So I've had run-ins with white kids, black kids. But the difference is, whenever I got into a scuffle with a black kid, both of the person that started it got suspended. But when I got in a scuffle with a white kid, the white kid was still in school and I got suspended. Or I saw other people, same scenario. They got in a scuffle with the white kids and he ended up getting suspended. The white kid was still in school, But that happened at Georgetown High. That's my experience during the summer. And I've heard rumors and stories. So this type of dynamic play out between white kids all the time in school, just like it play out between adults. At work, you might have dozens and dozens of black people complaining about what a white person is doing. It's not gonna go nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Unless a white person would have to co-sign what you're saying in order for it to go anywhere. And this same type of scenario happens in school amongst kids as well. So that's just what it is. There's double standards, there's rules, there's unwritten rules, there's hidden rules. That's how it is in this society. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately. And I don't see it changing anytime soon. So this is why I wasn't surprised when this incident, when I heard about it going to trial at all. Because we always get overcharged. And it doesn't matter if you're a teenager, a little kid, or an adult. You know what I'm saying? The places like Texas, they'll charge anybody. They don't give a fuck if you. Because see, we get treated like adults, even though we're a kid. And see, that's another thing that my parents taught me at an early age. They said, hey, when you walk outside, they're gonna see you as an adult. But in this household, you a kid. You know what I'm saying? My parents taught me that early. I was in the 8th, 9th grade when they told me this, man. You know what I'm saying? So they was like, hey man, when you walk outside and go to school or go wherever you go, man, don't be looking for no favoritism or no special treatment, because you probably ain't gonna get it. Because they see you as an adult. You know what I'm saying? They don't see you as a kid. When you at home, yeah, it's different. But when you walk out them doors, and when you're at school or riding your bicycle down the street or something like that, they see you as an adult. And that's just what it is in these United States of America. And like I said, I don't see it changing no time soon. And I always remember what my parents told me. They said, if you hit somebody, you should expect to get hit back. And plus, I don't know how you're gonna get hit back. That's the thing. Just because you punch somebody, that don't mean you're gonna get punched back with the same force. It might be harder, or they might hit you with something else, if you know what I'm talking about. But if you keep your hands to yourself and don't be a bully, you won't have to worry about none of this. See, if everybody would just mind their own damn business, this world would be a better place. That's the problem. Mind your own damn business. This world would be a much better place. But that doesn't happen. You know why it doesn't happen? Because this country it has a bully mentality. You know, it has a mentality of where people think they can do whatever and say whatever and get away with shit. You know what I'm saying? And when you fight back, they got a problem with that. That's why they use the laws and public policy and the police as kind of a backup plan, you know, to back them up. It's very coward way of living and seeing the world. It's very coward way of being, you know. But hey, if everybody would mind their own damn business, this world would be a much better place. So like, share this video. Don't forget to hit the Cash App on your way out. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.
Alright. Just got the call, it's going down tonight. It's a lot of goodbyes here tonight. But then I saw the stallion that I like. Hear from God.